All right. Hello, hello. All right. Looks like the sound is working. The sound was being weird on the other stream, so I don't know. Looks like it's working now. There we go. Sound is good. Yeah, it was one of those like power like did its thing, messed it all up. All right, got this over here. Yeah, it's one of those mornings. Phone is ringing. Todd's talking. The birds are going crazy. I was like, oh my god. Furnace guy shows up. I was like, oh my god, everything's at once. So, but it is like 36 degrees outside or 38 degrees, so kind of need to get the furnace fixed. I put it off long enough. Needed to get done. All right, so let's just jump in. So, as of yesterday, you guys, again, we saw the massive market disappointment, the weakened, the weakened Fed statement. Yeah, we're gonna slowly start doing things. It's like, then of course the pound was like, oh, well, we're gonna slowly start doing it too. So everybody's gonna slowly start doing it. Everybody's afraid to do it, you know. And then, yeah, I love the statement about we know that inflation it seems very very high, and yeah, we know it's harder for low income people, and next year it should be better, and but it's transitory, so you're gonna have to pay a lot more for things for the next year and a half, and maybe we'll do something then. I know, but it's we know it's hard. It was like wow. So yeah, Pal is gonna win the number one a hole award for the year, um, for those comments. But yeah, so I don't know. It's yeah, it's unbelievable the comments that he made. And then Biden, instead of worrying about inflation, is still worried about the vaccine mandates. And again, you know, how you can mandate and force people to use something that companies are making billions of dollars off of, um, with no repercussions. I don't know. Um, yeah, waiting for the class action lawsuit, and they will name Biden because he is forcing this. And yeah, Maryland just got approved for kids, but I don't feel that. I don't know. I feel like the safety needs to be there first. And I don't know that the safety's there. So yeah, interesting times. Interesting times. There's a reason why Republicans did well on voting Tuesday, and they're just making it worse. Just making it worse. Um, I think midterm elections next year are going to get interesting. Um, I don't know if I told you yesterday. I saw the first thing that says Democrats are really bothered, and in New Jersey, I guess. So New Jersey, they had to quote find more votes. Right? It was such a close race they couldn't call it, and then magically one of the counties that goes blue had to find more mail-in ballots. And when they found the mail-in ballots, then it became clear. But the guy won by just like the slimmest of margins, really really slim, and he was projected to win by multiple percentage points. So gotta love when those found ballots turn the tide, right? Turn the tide. So yeah, gotta love that. Love how you find ballots. So yeah, I don't know if Debbie's out there. Debbie, what's up with your people? Finding ballots in New Jersey. My uncle was like, yeah, he's like, it was super super close. Everything says it's super super close, but it wasn't supposed to be. So that's, I think, a lot of people surprised. So midterm elections are going to get interesting. Yeah, I think it's going to be a full switch all the way back again, and we're going to be left with nothing but a whole lot of debt, recession, and high interest. Sounds wonderful. Anyway, pound data was obviously weak. Unemployment claims data, great, great. I mean, again, our economy sucks supposedly, but yeah, unemployment claims were lower yet again. Um, throughout the rest of the day, we really don't have much. ECB president spoken. RBA monetary policy statement. It's there. It's not the big one that happened on Monday. It may provide some, some, but I wouldn't say that it's going to be like the hugest mover, right? Especially after today. Um, tomorrow morning, got a lot of stuff going on tomorrow morning. So for currency purists out there, we have the CAD yen that we can do the unemployment change unemployment rate on. Okay. As far as non-farm U.S. data, um, they're paying us less, right? Average hourly earnings. It's still positive, but it's less than what it was last time. But it's still positive, right? We're getting paid more. Our unemployment rate is going down, but again, fake number. And then non-farm employment change, big push in price, right? So Yeah, I mean, all these things are, more people are getting paid. We're still getting positive pay. It's getting more than it was before. Again, all these things are just going to drive inflation further. Then we have CAD PMI and then the Treasury currency report. And I don't know why they keep putting this currency Treasury report on there. It's not that big of a deal. And it keeps popping up again and again and again. Um, yeah, it's there. Anyway, oh, look at this stagflation. It's not a word we use. Hold on, I got to see this one now. We mentioned stagflation. Stagflation. It's not a word we use. It's an overly simplistic description of what is going on. Nice. Nice. That's better than transitory. Love it. Love it. I'm going to screenshot and then send that to Todd. Todd will appreciate that one. Um, sorry. I got to send that to Todd because we were just talking. We had that conversation. I don't know, last week we mentioned it about, you know, stagflation and what it is. I love Bailey. It's like, we're not going to use that word here. It's not a politically correct word. We're just not gonna talk about it because if we don't talk about it, it's not real. But yeah, that's what we got going on. Anyway, biggest mover obviously in the last 24 hours is pound. You're seeing across the board. Euro pound is the nice little pop here. I think that the euro pound was the kind of hidden pop in this one. Again, we see the euro dollar down a bit, dollar strength coming back in, but man, 113, 142, big days in both the pound. And again, not necessarily surprised. I'm not sure why the market felt like it was going to be bigger than it actually was. Um, I don't know. I didn't expect there to be anything, astronomical as far as changes go. So I don't know. If anything, I'm kind of more surprised that the market was so surprised because I didn't think that the pound was going to do anything. I was pretty sure. Like, I don't know. Tom's like, no, they had priced in. I'm like, I don't know why they would have priced it in. Like, I mean, Brexit. They just had they had like kind of like a mini new wave, right, of COVID. Delta coming back again for like the 12th time, right? I don't know why they would just suddenly be like, yeah, we're raising it. Like, I don't know. So I wasn't necessarily surprised by the move on this one, but I guess the market overall was. So we're seeing such big movement. Um, Going into tomorrow, again, I would expect most of this day to be positive. So I'd see, probably a bit of a retracement, in preparation for tomorrow. Oh, here we go. We got it. The JMC supports no change in policy. Of course they don't. So that's basically easing the cuts by 400K. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see. So oil started to move from it. Bitcoin's down. Yeah, yeah. So looks like we'll get the retracement because they came in basically what the market expected. They didn't surprise us with additional cuts, so it's not going to crush it. Um, Hold on. The rates need to rise. I don't know about that one. Our anchored inflation peak is maternally higher than August. There we go. Cannot give fixed time span for transitory inflation. Here you go. I'm not gonna tell you how long. Yeah. So Bailey was kind of smart. He hedged his bets. He hedged his bets pretty well as far as what was gonna be in there. So anyway, let's go across. Let's start off with the dollar. So obviously, big push up, right? Big push down. Immediately, again, we retrace back up again. This is a level we've seen sellers coming in the past, and again, it's kind of hit it. It's chopped up here at 94.25. I'd say it's high on the curve, right? And again, the initial was very, very weak, and then just parabolic move back up. I would say the dollar's going to be an interesting play. It is definitely high on the curve. I don't know if I'd be willing to suddenly say that's it. Nope, we're out. Time to get short the dollar. I don't think we're quite there yet. Um, I think it probably has a little bit more to go. Like I said, it's been tested here, pushed it to the brink, kind of pushed it back, fought it a little bit higher. So I think it probably's got a little bit more room to run today. Um, maybe somewhat of a reversal at 10:30, but I would say dollar strength is probably more on the books for today. Again, we saw the weakness. Now ES, let's drop this down. We're just going to go through. You know what? It's delayed a little bit. We'll go with currencies first. I'm going to do it first today. Anyway, here's what we saw yesterday. Really, since late last night, this has just been pushing straight down again. Dollar strength coming back into the market. We were looking for the push, and again, that news came in right here, right? So again, that was the spike. We were looking for it long. Um, it went up higher. Now it actually did blow through an area which I didn't think it would be able to hold again. It looks like it tagged probably this area right here. This retest right here is what it grabbed. So don't need that one. This Harry Potter's gone. We don't need that one anymore. We'll just remove it. Again, Again, this one a little bit lower than news. So again, getting along the news on that. We don't need that anymore. Let's take this off. Anything else in there? Not so much. All right, so let's continue some of these across. That's kind of where we're at right now. I don't need that one. Here, and here. All right, so ah, hmm, it's an okay level. I like this one a little bit better. I like the 73.21. Oh, that's a bit far. That would be a 80 pip mover. Let's see how much we got here. 29. Let's see. Let's set this up for tomorrow. Hmm. So this would require a lot of dollar strength to happen. So we got these two levels lower. I mean, we got more than that, but these are the two levels that are in range for non-farm tomorrow. Honest thing, this one is this one is probably too close for a non-farm release. It's only 33 pips lower. That's probably more set up for reversal today. The second one down here is probably more within the spike range for non-farm, being at 89 pips. That's probably more in line with what we're looking for. Problem is on this one is I don't really have anything up top that I love. Right. I mean, this is not a good area. This is not really. I mean, it's basing and a push, but not really great. Like this is the last true tested piece. So I would say this is a level that we need to watch out for tomorrow. And again, it may be a spike, but the problem is it's about 70 pips away. So it's a little bit far, right? I would say, but 74.68 on the top side is probably probably a decent level, right? Downwise, this is probably a little bit close, and this is probably more of a spike, not a reversal. So I would say watch out for those two levels right now. And again, we may get a reversal later on today. I do think that, again, with the data being good, not that I expect Powell suddenly be like, hey, we're going to raise interest rates because I don't think Powell cares. It's not Powell's concern about that one. Uh, but I would say that's probably the best opportunity. Unfortunately, there's not really any pullbacks in this down draw that I really like. I don't even think fib wise, like if we wanted to get tricky with it. Um, hold on. Levels, value, percentages on the right. Yeah, it's pulling back up to that level. So it's not even like a great level. Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of that level. So yeah, nothing really even in there. I like that better. If we can get a bounce off of that one, I like that one for a target better. I think that level of basing is better than this one up top. So, and we'll see. Let's go to Aussie yen. Aussie yen. So took our three bounces. Again, didn't expect this one to hold. Yeah, late night reversal. I'd say this one is probably set up a little bit better. The 84.61. I'm sorry, 84.06. 103 is right there. This one's going to require about another 21 pips, so I like that one. I think that's decent. Mark that one up top. They're kind of top and bottoms right now. Okay. This one is okay. It's an all right pullback, but it is in such close proximity. I mean, we're talking about 11 pips. It's in very, very close proximity. There's Debbie. Debbie, what's going on with your state? Why is it that they had to, like, find votes at the last minute? Hmm? Hmm? Sounds like some rigging to me, Debbie. Sounds like some rigging. whenever the late reporter needs to find votes at the last minute to, give a guy the slightest of margins to win. Kind of sounds like rigged is in order. Hashtag rigged. See how long it takes her to respond. Anyway, I think this one's lined up. Again, we get this continue push down. We got 30 minutes. I think it's a decent bounce. 84.05. Euro pound just exploding higher. Finally blew through. You can see it had a little bit of a hiccup here at the 85.16. And again, 1, 2, 3. It did pause a bit, but it sliced through it like butter. So we can remove that one right now just to clean it off, get it out of there, right? Again, here's where the news came in. Obviously, we talked yesterday about having two zones there. The 84.75 was not a contention. It went out. It went out early, and it got really close. This one came pretty far down. We did ended up not getting entered. We missed it by 1.4 pips, so rather small. But again, kind of one of those things. With price being up here with the news release, you had to expect that it was going to go long anyway. We're looking for long. It was kind of in a level again long, but this was the most secure election ever. Didn't you know? Yeah, right, Sean. Yeah, yeah. I think put it this way, if they can figure out how to figure out if you paid your taxes or didn't pay your taxes, if they have the technology to be able to send people checks, stimulus checks, right? They should have a system where people can vote, right? There should be a system that is easily tracked. Again, right back to you. And then again, if there's two votes from one person tied to like one social security number, what's the problem with that? Well, guess what? We have the technology. If there's double votes, it automatically pulls it out. They get to the bottom of it. And then once they figure it out, bam, that one can go back in again. Very simple. Not anything earth shattering, guys. Super easy to fix. And then what do? You require people to get social security numbers. If you don't have a social security number, you shouldn't be here anyway. Right? So it should be. It should be. Anyway, with your pound, now we're approaching another level. Now we ended up blowing through it, which I'm cool with. Again, it was a farther back level. So at this point, now we're looking for that retracement. Now I do like this candle. It's not a bad candle. I would have liked it if it didn't have the bottom piece on there, but I do like that level. So now the question is, are we going to get the confirmation? Actually, can I use the? I don't get to do it often. Do I get to use it? No, it's the other direction. It's down. Are we going to pull back down? Right? If we get the pull back down and the push up, then we can take the parabolic move back to the downside. So I think it's decent. Right now, the risk level on this one is it's only about seven pips. So it's not even like it's anything gigantic. I mean, it could be much worse. But I think somewhat of a retracement is probably due. Again, this is a lot of movement up. This just in this two candles, or I guess three because there's a gap there. 74 pips. So it's double the ATR. I guess New Jersey was rigged, but Virginia wasn't, huh? It's hard to say Virginia was rigged when three different of the big people, right? I mean, the attorney general, like a black female, got elected. So it's kind of hard when there's how do you say it was rigged when there's a black female won in Virginia, right? Kind of hard to say that one's rigged, but Virginia's absolutely rigged. Northern Virginia, it needs to be like there needs to be like another state. There needs to be the Washington D.C. suburb, and then the 98% of the rest of the state, right? Like if you look at it, like how they vote, it's literally Fairfax County. One county in the entire state is basically what swings the elections back and forth. And I think actually Virginia was more of just an overconfidence thing. Actually, New Jersey was probably an overconfidence thing too. We got this by many percentage points. We don't need to vote. Like the dude in New Jersey had $1 million or a million more registered voters, right? Million more Democrat voters, and then barely won. It just goes to show that they didn't come out. It was kind of the overconfidence thing. Like we got this, no big deal. So, or because Republicans won. I don't know. The Republican lady is pretty. She's pretty fiery. But yeah, she's the attorney general. I think. I think that's the position she got. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's no. New Jersey was yeah. New Jersey was kind of like, oh, we need these last minute votes. Honestly, I'm surprised that New Jersey was as close as it was. It should have been a done deal for them. Yeah, I mean, Neuro, it should have been one 1 million more registered Republican or I'm sorry, Democratic voters, and it was that close. Again, it's just the egos of everybody. Um, yeah, political tribes. Yeah, like I said, I feel like there needs to be mandatory third party, and then there has to be a majority showing. Do it like Canada. Do it just like Canada. All right, we need confirmation. I'm going to put the confirmation in right here. Look at that. 1 to 3 is only right there. So yeah, give us the top. I'd love to get short this one. I think it's a shame that this wasn't Monday. This was Monday. This would have been a great knockout. Winston Sears, the gun lady. Yeah, the gun lady. Yep. And then also in Boston, Boston has their first Asian female mayor. Right. I think that's pretty cool too. Right. Pretty cool. What's her name? Like Andrea Wu, I think her last name is. Yeah. So again, some cool election surprises. She was a city councilman. I think she was expected to do it. The people here are sick of the taxes we pay for. Debbie, I will say that. I mean, I grew up in South Jersey, but yeah, the taxes in New Jersey are absolutely unreal. My sister gave up a rental property. It basically didn't give it up. It like gave it away, basically more or less, because they were so tired. They had like a McMansion in Sioux Falls. It was like 5 times bigger than their place, and they were paying like 4 times as much in property taxes in Jersey. My uncle still lives there. He's in Medford, Marlton, one of those two. I forget which one. Um, and he's like, it's ridiculous. He's like, the taxes we pay are absolutely insane. Yeah, he hates the taxes. Worst state ever in taxes. But again, look for a reversal on this one. Like I said, we need a little bit more confirmation than this. We need a little bit of clearance. Basically, we need that failure to go higher situation. So I'm drawing it, but again, like I said, I think this one is due for a reversal. Euro pound, you can see, is the exact opposite, right? Straight down. So it's not like the euro is necessarily strong. This was an old area we bounced off of yesterday. We don't need it. Here's a level that we talked about. It hit it and bounced. It hit it and base. You're like, yep, it's not worthy. It's not going to hold anymore. So again, it's really chopping back and forth. And again, it was a prior zone, so we'll take it off. We don't need it now just to clear the charts up, but we do have this level a little bit lower. And again, this would also coincide with some type of reversal pattern today. Since what? Last night, right? European markets started on this one here, right? There's your 3 o'clock open right there, that little tiny green candle. So yeah, it was already moving. Um, yeah, this is just, it is what it is. Tomorrow, I think it's 9. Thought we had European data tomorrow too. Yeah, I knew we did. So I think this is all good. I think this one is set for a reversal. I think industrial production will be good. We're seeing that tick up again. France probably, again, expect to be lower. If it's positive at all, that's good. Um, Retail sales are supposed to be down in both, but I have a feeling that retail sales in the EU is going to miss the top side. So any of these things could really help. The problem with this one is for tomorrow morning, we're only about 20 pips away. Right now, this is being driven by the yen. So if we do get a reversal, it's probably due to come in. And let's go look back and look at that zone. Here's what that zone looked like right now. This base, this hit. So it wasn't a super explosive move off of it. But again, I think it's with as much movement as we've had, I think it's due for a bit of a reversal. And again, there was an opening trade right here. Right, there was the opening trade right there. And it's a little bit early at 9 o'clock, but you guys get the idea. All right. That's what I want to do. Just gonna see if that pulled back to 23. Take it. Got in here. We got anything hidden in there? No. Yeah, maybe lower, but not really. Yeah. So I think this level. I think again. I think we look for a reversal. I will say though, if we get a failure of 130, 120, look for this one to continue lower. Excuse me, into the 130, 94ish range. There's nothing in here really slowing it down. It's a decent runner. I mean, it's about 30 pips down, but I think the next area we hit down here would be, again, looking at this one. Okay, but I think the retail sales data will help us tomorrow. Here's the euro. Um, yeah, this was last night at what, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I mean, I guess it first originally spiked at 4, 5 o'clock. Um, FOMC kicked in right there. So, I mean, yeah, there's your FOMC spike up. We had drawn this one yesterday, so hopefully you guys got this one. This was a nice little runner. 56 pips, 1 to 3. Out now. Look for a reversal. So, actually, it should be. Actually, it's two different trades really. There's your first, and again, you would have got out here and then back in again. But yeah, we talked about it yesterday. The trade's done now. If you want to looking for a reversal off of 115.35, you're probably decent on that one. And again, this is a larger move, right? This was a very, very large kind of retracement base move. So pound yen. So pound yen is just slicing through levels. So there's your 8 o'clock window right here. And again, we already know what happened at 8 o'clock. It was kind of sitting just a little bit above it was basing. And again, really since the overnight, I mean, here's the European session start. Okay, so I don't think there was any question in the European traders market what was going to happen today. Um, they basically, since the market opened, they were sending it straight down. So it's hard to say that there was a disappointment. I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure exactly who, but it'd been going down all morning, right? So we'd already done about half the move, and then again the move was continuing. U.S. session kicked in, and we hit the zone. You can see we hit it, we bounced back up again, but it couldn't withstand a second hit. So we'll remove it for right now, and now we're approaching the second level down below. This zone has already provided one good trade out of it. It did go a little bit deeper, so something we kind of want to watch out for. But there's got to be some profit taking here. We mentioned it yesterday, 153.77. The risk level on it is it's about 19. So again, pound yen. That throat calls for a short Berman. I know, right? Yeah, I don't feel horrible yet, but man, like the dripping. Yeah, the girl laying on my face when she was coughing, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get sick. Yeah, it's horrible. Speaking of shine, Moonshiner season 11 started. Caught up with my 2 episodes before, forgot completely that that's what the whole reason I was paying for Discovery. Love that show. Love that show. They almost all got busted this season so far, so they're all moving over to North Carolina from different states, from Virginia. I think one guy's in Tennessee. Doing some watermelon brandy. They're supposed to be strawberries. I love that show. And I told Melissa, I was like, listen, do you know every single person on the show has overalls? I don't even know where to buy overalls at, but every single person on the show has overalls. She's like, I love overalls. I was like, I don't even know where to buy them, dear. But yeah, they all got overalls. So anyway, with this one approaching, okay, so I do like this racetrack. We do have a racetrack below. So it is 10:15. We are getting near reversal time. There has really been no pushbacks, really whatsoever. So here are your two options. Okay, you can take a confirmation on the top side, or we can take the old confirmation on the bottom side. Right? There we go. Look at that. It doesn't look as good because it's big on the top. I was like, I should be able to flip that around, move it. So yeah, I would look for confirmation either way on this zone. If we're going to get it up top, we will push away from it a little bit, and then when it comes down. So here's how I would play it. If price pulls to here, and price pulls back down in the level, basically you were looking to go long when it breaks out of the top. Right? That would be your trigger. Okay? Again, what we need is this confirmation of a failure to go lower. I mean, if you really wanted to do it, you could. If you really wanted like ultimate confirmation, you could wait for it to break through the top. So that way, it's giving you a confirmed higher high, two higher highs. North Carolina is safer. They have mountain cop cars that are made for this. Oh, I'm sure they do, Sean. Yeah, but it was just to the fact that like, So you have to watch the show. I don't want to give it away, but it's like the local police stopped there and like, we know what you guys do here. We know that you've had 11 seasons of doing it. You know, you got a thing of grain there. Well, that's not illegal. We know what you're about to do. So it's just that the guys, the local town cops are following them. So like, oh, if we go out here, they're not following us. Like they're not, there's nobody watching our trucks. Like when we go over the state line, they're not calling people. But and again, it's kind of a somewhat of a rig show, right? I mean, it's like, hey, we've been following you around for 11 seasons producing illegal moonshine, right? And only one guy's been busted. And he got busted for having like a sawed off shotgun in Virginia because he was on parole. So, yeah. Yeah. So for 11 years, these guys have been producing illegal and they've been good. So, I mean, they're, making a lot of grape juice. Um, yeah, the one guy, Tim, who has the legal distillery now, he went legal. He was like one of the main guys that went legal after like 2 years or something like that, or 3 years. That was like his big thing. Um, he's actually over in Culpeper, Virginia. So he's not. I've been. Yes, I used to go. I would hunt in Culpeper. I don't know exactly where Culpeper is. I'm not even. Yeah, I know, right? He didn't even get busted for the moonshine. He got busted because he had a sawed-off shotgun for defense. But being on parole, he was not allowed to have a firearm. So it was kind of like, yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, the dude's name is Tickle. How could that be a bad man? So I do find lots of comedy. I will say every episode is like redneck MacGyver. They are building. They have guys on. They're always building something, right? It's awesome. It's like MacGyver from my childhood, but they're building moonshine with it, right? Awesome, awesome. The one guy used his stimulus check to buy 10 sheets of copper and two of like stainless steel. He's like, Uncle Sam wants to pay me money. I'm gonna put it into my business. I'm gonna buy more copper sheets. I'm like, this is great. I'm like, this is exactly what we need, right? So sorry, derailed completely. See what's happening? Anyway, back to this. Look for the confirmation down. Oh, let's change this black again. Look for the confirmation up. And then again, play the breakout in the other direction. Okay. Either direction, we can go north or south. It is getting that 1030 though. I'm kind of liking this as far as it can down, but we're probably getting out from the yen. Really, a little bit, but not really. But anyway, pound traders are about to be out of the market in a bit. So in the next hour and a half, they don't typically go to the very, very end. So they'll be out. So all the pound profit taking will need to come in pretty soon. But yeah, whatever they said, they pissed the pound off pretty bad. Pound dollar, same thing. Same thing. We do have a Harry Potter here, a break of 35.09. It is now breaking. Look for a pullback to that level. Again, we're looking for that pullback in, and then the Harry Potter is live. So again, maybe we pull a Harry Potter in both. Maybe we pull through and then get the pullback, but both of them are set up slicing through levels. So that level was out, and again, it fought. It went up. It went up. It went up again. It fought 3 times, and it's out. So now at this point, again, Harry Potter break of 35.10. Look for a pullback. We need a base and a pullback, so that's probably incoming as well, right? But man, I'm gonna play this retracement. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD sloppily went off this zone. It did push a little bit through. Um, I'm actually kind of liking CAD for tomorrow morning, right? I'm liking this right here. So this number doesn't matter. If this is, I'm afraid that the 455 is going to be too high, right? I'm afraid this one's going to come at 320. Not that 320 is bad, but it's not as good as expected, right? So if the CAD rallies up and we got another 30 something pips to go, it'll probably slow down a little bit today. I think either of those two is a great play for tomorrow, right? Also down here, we're going to refine this level a little bit. We're going to try to do crap over here. I was like, give me a good entry. That's too much. 14. I'm not going to take 14. Probably going to have to go all the way over here. And there's going to be my top or bottom for tomorrow. Reason why I chose that is you have the wick, and then a higher wick, and then a higher wick, and then a higher wick, then a higher wick, then a higher wick. So again, definitely buyers sitting in. Didn't explode out of the top, but I think that's what we're looking for. Let's see. 36, I'm happy with that. 82, that would be a spike down. Hmm. Yeah, there's our top and bottom right now for tomorrow. Dollar Swiss. Kind of junky. There was our FOMC. Came up right to that top and then just collapsed back down again. It obviously made its 1 to 3. It would have to be here. I love when it does this. We're not going to give it to you. So it obviously entered the position right there, but you guys get the point. It went well beyond, all the way back down to the same level. So dollar Swiss more or less just stabilized. It's only 0.18. It's really not moving a ton right now compared to everything else out there. I would say it's probably more set up for short, some dollar weakness for tomorrow. Again, if we get the same type of, you know, weak, you know, good but not blowing it out of the water scenario. Yeah, I don't know. I would say down. I think tomorrow we're looking for bounces off either of those two. Don't really have another level. Again, it's hitting this level. It's not going to last much longer, but I still do like the reactions off of it. Have been good so far. And again, we've seen pretty much dollar moving in one direction. I think we're probably due. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. We talked about this one bouncing, and yes, we got the move up. There was the move up. Right. Let's see. Right here is the FOMC, kind of chatter back and forth. Again, didn't expect it to be great. And then European session has done nothing but shoot it straight down. There is the European session open. So I actually do like the top of this. Okay, this was a trade we don't need anymore. Let's take this one across. I do like this. It is 3 wicks, which is not bad, but I do like how they are ascending. It's low, or it's the new high, then lower, and then it exploded out again. So I think that's a decent level up top. That's something I keep on my radar. 114.20. Let's see here and here. I think this one is a pretty good one, right? Downside. Oof. Going to be a hiccup in here. Going to be a hiccup there. I think our first real clean one is all the way down here. So again, a little bit of a hiccup. Let's see how far is it got to move. 28 pips. Todd wrote back. He's like, it's going to get more and more interesting. Sorry, trolling Todd a little bit. Yeah, I think this one comes down. Whether we take a bounce off of that is kind of like, it's an okay bounce. Maybe this afternoon, maybe like a 1 o'clock bounce we can take off of it. But look for confirmation. Don't take that as a number one entry. Take it as a number three. I think that'll make the most sense if you're looking to go long. But the first really clean entry is down at 113. We have 70 pips to go. Nothing earth shattering today, but tomorrow, obviously, that is on the radar. Non-farm can absolutely move it that much. So just something we need to kind of need to be prepared for. Let's go over to oil. So, if you attended the Natick session this morning, talked about how this one was rallying. I'm looking for a reversal. It reversed. We were sitting right here at the Natick session. Actually, this should be there. 8:30 is where I mark it off, and there we go. We're all the way, basically halfway through. Okay. So, talked about looking for that reversal, having it come in. It's reversed halfway back. This is a pretty decent move back. $2 back again. I'm wondering if there was any topic candle in there. Yeah, there was, but not really. 9:30. Yeah. So, yep, this is an up-down scenario so far. I would say oil. So here's the thing with oil. We know that they just, they support this. We know that they're looking at this saying, "Yep, inflation is bad. They need to raise interest rates." And it's kind of like it's weird. It's like a snowball, right? We have a lot of inflation in energy, so we're going to raise interest rates, which hurts the market, which is why they're not raising, why they're not raising the cap. So it's like we're not going to raise the cap to lower the interest, so you have to raise interest rates, so the market collapses, which is why we're not going to raise it in the first place. It's just a circle. It's like one of those. You guys ever seen the it's not an icon, but you know, have you ever seen an Ouroboros? It's the snake that eats itself. It's basically what oil is doing right now, right? It's exactly what it is. We're not going to increase supply because we think demand is going to stay steady, right? It's going to stay steady because we're going to be kind of going into recession because interest rates are rising. But we're rising interest rates because inflation is there inside of inside of energies. It's the same thing. It's an Ouroboros. It's the snake eating its own tail. All it is. So yeah. But again, I see this coming back down again. Where does it stop? Probably 80. 80 is going to be a big psychological number. You can see, we got this bunch of basing down here, and that's what it took off of before. 80 is huge. Yesterday we talked about it. All right, we talked about the two different binaries. Um, right, price closed right here, right? So those were those two strikes we talked about. I think the lower one was a $25 risk on the daily, and the daily ended all the way over here. So it blew it out of the water. And again, it pulled back up. It used that little level of basing. So we used the Ouroboros in my old band's logo. I think it went over most people's heads. Yeah, it's kind of, and Neuro, it's interesting. I love the logo. One of the jiu-jitsu companies that I was very into, they also used it, the Ouroboros logo. But it's almost kind of like the same idea as like the Phoenix, right? The Phoenix burns itself down and is reborn. Or that's the whole idea between with the Ouroboros is it like keeps like renewing itself. It's kind of cool. Like I feel like we need like a third one, right? Yeah. But yeah, talked about going, bearish on oil today. So it's bearish. No trade setup right now. It's about halfway through. Now here's a question. Will there be people that are looking to go long now? No. Their oil people are about almost stopped out. So we'll see what happens if we can get down to the 61.8. See if we can stop some of those oil people out. Because I'm sure there's people that went long. Sure, there's people that went long at that 50. So we'll see whether or not they were able to hold and maintain. Um, yeah, we'll see if they hits the stop point. But yeah, nothing to say. I mean, yeah, it's already in. Natural gas. So natural gas is still messing with that line. Now that I'm getting the furnace fixed, now we really need to have a serious talk about natural gas, and we need natural gas to continue its decline, not go higher. So I do like the level. It's decent with the base. Unfortunately, okay. Um, seeing the UK spike natural gas this morning because of Russia not sending natural gas out or whatever. Um, I'm telling you, natural gas was like, our country failed, but we're gonna stick it to everybody else out there now. Like they're part of OPEC, and the issues we have with OPEC, they're the part of the problems with natural gas right now because they're not shipping natural gas at the rate that needs to be shipped. You know, um, and remember, Uncle Russia was like, yeah, their initial is like, we'll do things to stabilize price. You can rely, you can trust us, and they're like the root cause of all of it. So it's not Cold War. This is just reality at this point. But I would say watch this level again. We may have to refine it a little bit if we're going to take a little bit less risk in there. We can kind of bring it up and kind of see on a 15. Is there better? Yeah, you can kind of see the basing in there. Probably do it off of that level, right? It's tested. It's the start of the green. It was the pop in the base, and it kind of is where it took off at the outside. Just a lower risk on there. So coming in at 584. Um, and again, it makes sense why it stopped here. I mean, if you guys can see it very, very clearly, there's the base, the pullback to it, the test, and then the launch off of it. So it makes complete sense why. I would say right now, though, let's focus on probably this range. Again, I'm on a 15-minute, but I'd say that this is kind of the downward side target right now for any of these shorts. Is it $5.58, basically 5.50. The pound isn't Ouroboros mode. Yeah, basically. Yeah, more or less. I mean, with Brexit, yeah, more or less. And like the euro kind of always is, right? If you think about it, like Germany is eating up the small countries. God, now I'm yawning. Oh, this is such a rough day. Just one of those days. I told Todd, I'm like, Todd supposedly went to an industry conference yesterday. He was like, man, I'm hurting today. I was like, because you're old, Todd. You can't go out drinking with the young bucks anymore, buddy. He's like, I know, right? He's like, my insides feel like I drank glass. I'm like, did you? Were you doing Jaeger bombs yesterday, Todd? And he's like, no, I'm way too old for that. He's like, but I did drink. I was like, see, you're old. Um, anyway, there's our top and bottom for that gold. Gold is rallying. It's almost back to 1800. Really, we need 1800 to hit. What's interesting about gold? So gold is up 28 bucks today. We're above an ATR, up 1.6%. Bitcoin is down 1.3. Ethereum down 1%. So we're seeing the shift as inflation is there and more people are talking about inflation is going to be here for a while. We are starting to see it actually go back into the inflationary metals, not the coins. Okay, so nice rise, right? Nice rise up, but I think at this point we're probably going to get some selling of gold. I mean, think about it. Everybody that we're over here. It's $28 in one day, right? I mean, that's big. I mean, 1.6%, it's half our inflation rate in one day. So it's a lot, but 1800 is going to be a huge psychological number. Coincidentally, with gold being at 1800, again, it's an area where it's floated around. Again, if we can punch through and stabilize, again, that could be a good taking off point. And again, we know we got room at least up till 1810, right? Before we run into sellers on the opposite side, right? They're sitting up here at this level. So but it's just too fast of an ascent in such a short period of time. I feel like it is probably due for a reversal, and it coincides with silver at the same time. So gold is flirting with the 1800 buffer. Silver is doing the same thing with the $24 buffer. So they're both kind of in the same area. Silver has been a little bit more grindy, where gold has some big spikes in here, right? Right at the 830 window, but I think they're both kind of in the same area, right? We're really going to be testing the sellers that we've seen. Both of them are kind of inflation plays. Silver is ahead. It's 2% versus 1.6, so it's not anything gigantic, but it's definitely something that needs to be kept on the radar. So they're both really set up. Wouldn't be surprised if we come back down here and come down to like 2370. Same thing with gold. I mean, there's a couple pieces in here. Like, does this come down? And do we push over into here? But I think they're basically both the same trade setup. Um, I don't know that they're going to give us a huge move before next week, um, but this could be a play for next week as we rotate out. Remember, the crypto people are not going to be able to take the crypto people are not going to be able to take 1%. They're like, what's going on? And again, look at this right here. This is the crypto. This is the FOMC crypto spike. We go from 62.8, actually 63 is right there, so almost at 63. Okay, we'll say 62,755 or 750 all the way down to 60,000. So that was a heck of a yeah. But again, gold and silver are both kind of the same scenario right now. It is 10:30. These are the reversal times that we're looking for. Again, both of them I think are set up, and again are due to be kind of reversing because again, playing with those large psychological numbers with those two. Now, Dixie is again, it's doing that what we talked about. It is trying to pull through. The VIX again is low. It's starting to pop a little bit now, but again, VIX is lower, so everything should be in the green. Again, punching higher. Again, there's really nothing for us to kind of grab up top. It looks like let's go down. We're on a 15-minute now. Let's see. Was this the opening? It was the opening, and it looks like there would have been our level of basing, right? So again, nice push. It should be green. Again, this is 100% justified. Them not raising, them starting to taper in a slow way versus it coming really, really fast. It makes sense. We need to find a new top in this one right now. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have it. I like the candle that we're in right now, but this is a 15-minute candle, so I can't really draw it yet. But I actually wouldn't be surprised if we do pull back down tomorrow. Um, if we get some disappointing data with non-farm, that could absolutely kind of you know temper some of the FOMC. And again, not surprised whatsoever. I didn't expect him to go hard and fast. I expected it to be weak tomorrow. And again, told you guys, market was disappointed. They're not raising interest rates, but that is awesome. Awesome for ES. I also say the higher that this goes up, when they finally do start doing stuff, this is going to come and fall a lot farther too. So yeah. Again, inflation continuing to get higher and higher and higher, and the Fed is okay with it. And then all these billionaires that they want to tax is making more and more money off the market. So I think that's their play, right? Question is, are people going to keep voting for them if they keep letting inflation go crazy? Don't know. Don't know. But ES again, opening setup, not much there. We need a new top to be put in. NQ is the same thing. NQ is not even pulling back right now. Um, let's see. Trying to see if I could get like a decent, unfortunately, on the pullbacks. Yeah, I mean, there would have been our right. Actually, I wanted to use this. Hold on. Let's get this out. Wanted to see. We're going to take that push up and that push back down again. wanted to see where potential rollers are. That extension. It's really the same extension. It's funny. Look, if you do it there, right? Because it's basically off of this. I'm just extending it across. 23 extended back, came back again, grabbed that same line and took off. Or if you just want to do it on the easy way, instead of using mystical properties, there's your level of pacing right there. And there's your 930 candle. Off to the races. Same problem. No top. We need a top before we can do anything on this one. So, yeah, off to the races for that. YM having a little bit more problems. But you can see yesterday, FOMC, what did we do? We ground down to the 3580 or 800 psychological level, and bam, punched higher. Dow's having some issues here. Obviously, got that piece in there. This is not a long. I'm just drawing it on there right now. 'If these start to roll, or when everything does its pullback, I think the Dow's probably got 35,800 is probably on the radar. This is a big push, only a little bit of a hiccup here in the middle. Again, we already know there's a level down there, but I'd say, I mean, that's probably a decent profit target down there, right? Um, we just need to be able to get an established level of risk. The 931 was really kind of chopping sideways, and it's only, it's down point 0.1. Big deal, right? Down 32 points. It's not doing anything crazy. Um, yeah, I'd say 35,900 could actually be on the radar for today. Not a bad little trade setup right there. Yeah, I'd like to see the confirmation during lunch, but that could be an end of day deal. End of the day jobby right in there. That's not bad. And Russell. So so I drew this yesterday, right? Right. So we talked about kind of the pushes. There was your push all the way down to the. It literally pulled back to the 50% right before the 50%. I mean, it didn't come quite to it. So you would have had to know, like, listen, I got to, here's FOMC. I got to get in. Like, I'm looking to get in if it gets to here. It's close. It's in the vicinity, but you would have had to pull the trigger about a half hour early on this one. But again, there's your pullback, right? And I think actually here, let me see. I can do fun with the extensions, right? Came back up, punched the 78, and is now just kind of floating. And it's kind of flatlined. So funny that we drew that one yesterday, and that one, that's how that one worked out. We talked about the pullback. It was funny. Originally, when we had been drawing it, we drew it here. Or actually, it was here, right? And we were looking for, actually, it was here. We were looking for the pullback. But as soon as you go up all the way to the top, look at that. Really, really close, right? But again, not surprised that this one did what it did. So right now, I mean, we're on a 15-minute chart. There is no direction, no nothing. So there's nothing we can do with the Russell right now. 930 of this one has already started to leave. Didn't really pull back. If you were drawing this one, you would have drawn probably in here is what you would have had the drawn, or even maybe a little bit lower, maybe even to there. So unfortunately, the Russell did not give us an entry today. It did take off. It went higher. It's up 0.7. It is trailing the NQ a little bit, and then ES is behind it. Um, Really, as far as what the opening setups would have been, ES should have been a trigger today. NQ should have been a trigger today. YM, not so much. Right, 930 is down here, and I would say after it's been hit, it was more set up for a short than it was a long, more than anything else. But again, it's pulled back. We're in the same exact spot. And Russell was a no entry. So two trade setups, both are well beyond their 1 to 3 at this point. And again, I'd say start to look for them to retrace. So, all right. With that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing today. I have to go get. I'm probably gonna switch the tea, and then I have a mentor session coming up. Where the heck is it? I have it on one of my monitors here. So Sean won yesterday. Oops, not restream. somewhere. There we go. All right, only 5 of you in. You guys are slacking today. Who's not in here? Ernest is not in. Debbie's here. Ty's in. Who are we missing? Will's right there. Ernest is sleeping. Sean's going with 4. Here we go. Ready? Oop. Oh, it says it's leaning towards no. So I guess the 8 ball knew. The 8 ball knew. And there's Eki, so we can get going. All right. There we go. There's our 8. So Sean should win. Statistically, Sean, you should be taking this one. Let's see who's going to play the spoiler. If Ernest is sleeping, you can shut it down. I know, right? He got me on the type. He typed it in fast. I was like, huh. But he's not sleeping. He's not sleeping. All right. So winner of today's drawing is. Look at that. I feel like it's rigged. I haven't said Eki's in. I can shut it down now. Bam. Look at that. Eki takes it. I feel like it's rigged. What? I feel like it's rigged. 7% chance of winning. Actually, Eki does this about once a week, guys. In all fairness, Eki's not even a subscriber, but I feel like Eki takes like one a week, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's give Eki. He's like the silent assassin. I'm telling you. He comes in, he gets his tickets in, and he wins like once a week. I don't know. Like, you know who? I feel like the tides have turned. Yes, I feel like Sean. The odds. Sean, you got to play the odds. Vegas loses sometimes too, but the longer you play, Sean, there you go. I feel like for a while, Morena and Debbie were just crushing everybody, right? And then Neuro kind of got on a little bit of a hot streak, right? He was taking a lot from Ernest, right? And now it's Will and Eki. Will and Eki are the two dominant forces right now. Eki's won once, at least one last week. Will's won like 3 times in the last month, right? I feel like it cycles through, guys. It all evens out in the end. I mean, Will went like 6 months without winning, and then all of a sudden he ripped off like 5 victories in a month. It was like, what the heck is this? Who is this guy? I know, right? Now we're never heard from. I know, Deb, you guys are so quiet, right? I feel like you shared too many secrets, and now you guys are just not. Can't get it done, right? Look at this, 222. Hold on. Oh, I got to jump into a messenger session in a few minutes here, but look at this one. It's going lower. Come on, come down. Give us the pullback. We're just being nice. I know you guys are. You guys are the nicest. Marina, what's gas for now? What is gas in Cali? Because ours is up to like 330, I think. And if mine is over like 315, 320, yours has got to be high. What is yours right now? My Cali folk. Sean, yours is probably pretty cheap up in Michigan now, right? Around 520. 520 a gallon. 331, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're about the same, Sean. 520 a gallon. God. Whew. Insane. All right. With that said, be ready for tomorrow morning, right? Tomorrow morning, and again, ways you can play this one if you want to play purely. Again, if you're going to play purely Canadian, again, Canadian yen, right? The girl's algo is malfunctioning. Yeah, exactly. Canadian yen. But again, you're going to have a little bit of yen playing that one tomorrow. I think tomorrow is kind of set up. Yeah. I think tomorrow is set up to be a little bit overly optimistic. I feel like every time we get really, really hyped up, it happened last time with the unemployment data, right? Last time the expectation was 490 and it came in at 194. Is it going to be that low? I just feel like they've been quite optimistic lately. And if it comes in negative, then yeah, I guess that's going to give us a reversal. But right now, the biggest reversals are looking to be in the pound. So, yeah. With that said, I know we went a little bit late today. Sorry we had to get a little bit of a late start. But thank you guys for attending. And I will catch you guys tomorrow right after non-farm. Take care.